And it's wild to think that we are but a couple of days before the proper release of James Gunn's Superman in theaters. We were here from the inception. We were here from James Gunn first taking the DCEU head job, and then through the announcement of Superman Legacy, and then the rebranding to Superman, and then the worst marketing campaign I have ever seen for a movie in my entire life. But yes, a couple of days, and depending on where you're at, or maybe you went to one of those advanced fan screenings, or, then I think later today, the review embargo drops. So yes, we're going to start hearing some more concrete reviews, as opposed to a couple of the ones, the Daily Beast and a few other outlets that let things leak a little bit early that doesn't really inspire as much hope as James Gunn wants you to think this film will. But yeah, man, it's interesting, because I've said this time and time again, right? Like, coming into this week, I was thinking, I really want this film to be good. And we've seen the rumors, we've seen the leaks, and yeah, it hasn't really inspired a lot of confidence. But I'm sure that there's probably some examples that are out there where, yeah, we've heard leaks and rumors to that extent before, and then the end product is actually better than what we're led to believe, and some of those leaks and some of those rumors don't end up being true. But 9 out of 9, I'll give you the one for fun, it always ends up being even worse than what the leaks and the rumors lead you to believe. And now we get confirmation that there's not one but two post-credit scenes, and honestly, like, we already know of one of them because of the rather extensive plot leak. And yeah, if you don't want it spoiled, I guess don't look at the next film that is coming out of the DCEU, because yeah, she's not a part of the Justice Gang or anything like that, but Supergirl comes back and picks up Crypto because apparently Lois and Clark were dog sitting while she was out there getting drunk at a sorority party, because that's really what we want to see. Oh god, it's going to be so wonderful and quippy and great. And I just man, like, I wanted this to be good. I really wanted this to be good. And then I started to see more of this atrocious marketing, and it's like, why couldn't David Corenswet just simply be out there the entire time? Why couldn't we have Superman front and center? Because every time I see this guy in front of a camera, I just want this movie to succeed. Okay, because this is what he wants for the movie. Okay, this is like, he gets it. Okay, it's so wild, right? Because here we are once again. It's like, really great casting for Superman, just backed up by a whole cast full of idiots. Not to be fair, though, because Lois seems like, Rachel Brosnahan seems like she's also quite enthusiastic and quite positive about this movie. It's just, well, everything else that's not Lois and Clark, which, why can't we focus the Superman movie on Lois and Clark? It's too difficult. It's like Marvel can't crack a Blade movie. It's like Universal can't tell a coherent Jurassic Park movie, and Warner Brothers and DC can't do just a basic Superman movie. Wild. Anyways, Corenswet, yes, shares a thoughtful message ahead of the opening for Superman. Be kind to each other, step up to the plate, see what responsibilities you can shoulder, you can take care of, who you can look out for. Go into the weekend with a little more energy. That's nice. It's not revolutionary, it's not groundbreaking or anything like that. It is just something that you think that Superman would say. Perfect, in character, love it. And then compare and contrast that with everything that we have seen on the red carpet, because that just took place last night. And guys, it's I don't want this movie to succeed anymore. I want it to fail, because James Gunn is a hack who is just trying to get people to talk about the product instead of putting out one good movie. This is all this is about. Okay, because frankly, I'm somebody who just wants a good Superman film. I'm also somebody who has quite strong conservative leanings. I am somebody who has 4 MAGA hats in my general vicinity, a couple of Trump stickers, and yeah, I've been following the guy since 2015. I'm no Johnny-come-lately type goof as well, but I'm also somebody who has very publicly criticized the man as well. But would I consider myself to be MAGA? Probably. In so much as focusing on your home country, trying to make it as prosperous as humanly possible is great, as opposed to, simping for another country who was pulling the strings. If you ever wanted to wonder why, there was such an about face at the FBI about a certain list, yeah, just take a look at who would be directly implicated, who exactly the namesake of said list was working directly for. Yeah, you ever wonder why? And never, ever got released, regardless of who was in charge? Yeah, exactly, because it doesn't matter if it's Republicans or Democrats. There's another party that's in charge over the top of it, and instead of a little badge that they wear on their chest, yeah, it's a little hat that they put on top of their head. But I digress. back to Superman real quick, because James Gunn, Nathan Fillion, and more on the mega outrage over director saying Superman is an immigrant. I beg your pardon? Conservative outrage? Is this what we're going on? Kellyanne Conway's dumb old ass hopping on Fox News, them leeching on to, oh my god, guys, Superman's an immigrant. Oh, that's gonna make Superman woke. It's like, no, it's not, because yeah, we know Superman's an alien. It's probably going to be one of the 9,700 plot points that James Gunn is cramming into this film. And to be completely honest, I don't even think that it's going to be a major plot point in the story. He's probably going to bring up that, yeah, I'm an immigrant. There's probably going to be some fucking emotional outburst that hasn't been a part of the, 16 different scenes or clips that have been posted all over social media, that at any point in time, people are just going to edit those together, and you're going to be able to watch the entire movie without even having to go to the theater at this point in time. It's such bad marketing, man. But it's just going to be vague allusions, a couple of hand waves, and a few hair tussles and pats on the head as reference points to, oh, Superman's an immigrant. Oh, look at that. Oh, see, immigrants good. I don't think that's going to be a big talking point, but I think there's going to be a few more other insufferable points that are out there, but we'll get to those in due time. I just want to get to, some of the stuff that is being said on the red carpet, because Variety kind of has an axe to grind with James Gunn and Superman here. But anyways, the team behind Superman is responding to the backlash after director James Gunn said the DC tentpole story is the story of an immigrant and it came from other places. But he also wants to differentiate himself from Zack Snyder's interpretation that was very much, hey, I'm an alien, look at that, isn't it so great? You're not my real dad, so I'm just going to let you get sucked up by a tornado, even though I could totally stop that. And yeah, I should probably take my father's advice to not save the busload of children the next time. God, it was so dumb. Man of Steel sucks so bad, but hey, it could end up making more money than Superman. Wouldn't that just be wonderful, man? It's just the Snyder Bros, for as many cringe campaigns as they have going on right now, that we need to take back Superman, they never should have released the Snyder Cut, because it emboldened those friggin' weirdos, and it's never going to bore out anything other than just unrelenting and unrepentant annoyance. You should have just let that shit die, screaming, crying in the desaturated darkness. Should have just let that happen. And it's so funny, right? For all those Snyderoids, okay, who just want Zack to have his vision of the 3 Justice League movies. They want to see that realized, but you never go out there and support any of Zack's other projects. Like, did you like Army of the Dead? No, why didn't anybody turn out to support Rebel Moon or Rebel Moon director's cuts? Where was all the, where were you guys on that one? Oh, right, you only care about DC properties and this one cringe interpretation of Superman and Batman. Anyways, when asked about the reaction to his comments, James Gunn explained that the movie is for everyone and that he doesn't have anything to say to anybody spreading negativity around Superman. Oh, God. I'm not here to judge people. He told Variety at Monday night's Superman premiere at Hollywood's, Man's Chinese Theater. I think this is a movie about kindness, and I think that's something everyone can relate to. And yeah, for the other people that were mentioned, not Kellyanne Conway, I don't really care. But Nathan Fillion, Guy Gardner, one of the Green Lanterns that's going to be there. He was accosted by Mark Malkin, who asked, "Is this going to be the gayest Superman ever?" But I guess the second question that he asked Nathan Fillion was in regards to the immigrant question, okay? And he had a very bitchy answer to said question.
Oh, James has said that Superman is an immigrant story, that it is political. MAGA today was getting a little upset that he called Superman an immigrant. I wanted to get your reaction.
Somebody needs a hug. It's just a movie, guys.
Remember, it's just a movie, okay? And MAGA getting upset, I don't know, was there like a mandate that came down on that one? Again, I don't really think that's the case. This is more or less just James Gunn and this marketing department, this horrific marketing campaign, just wanting to get people to talk about it because they're still stuck in that old ideology that any publicity is good publicity. But in actuality, you're just cringing people out of the theaters. And speaking of which, you have James Gunn's brother on the red carpet as well. And, for in so much as Nathan Fillion, a guy who everybody kind of likes. I didn't really like his, bitchy, oh, who hurt you answer to that question. quite frankly, what do you say to something so stupid like that? What do you say to what do you say about the backlash the MAGA is giving you guys about Superman being an immigrant? I don't know, like, without knowing the arguments, like, chill out, I guess. And instead of saying, well, there's kind of more nuance than that, and yeah, my character is also emboldened by alien technology, and I do that to, you know, help the world and America as well. But we don't need to think about that much. You could just go ahead and dismiss criticism as just mega extremists, right? Are we not done with this talking point? Hasn't this been trotted out, and we've seen it fail for over a decade at this point? But anyways, speaking of things getting trotted out time and time again, one of James Gunn's go-to, I'm surprised, you know, James Gunn's wife wasn't also asked on the red carpet, but Sean Gunn on the mega backlash of Superman being called an immigrant.
Your boss, your brother, talked about Superman being an immigrant. And now MAGA is already upset that he's called Superman an immigrant. I wanted to get your reaction.
MAGA, you know, the guy MAGA, okay? Yeah. He's upset about it. Yo, this is just, it's bait, man. It's bait. Don't take the bait. Just like the gayest question whenever he asks that, okay?
You know, my reaction to that is that it is exactly what the movie is about, I think. That, like, we support our people, you know? We love our immigrants. Yes, Superman is an immigrant. And yes, the people that we support in this country are immigrants. And if you don't like that, then you're not American. People who say no to immigrants are against the American way. They're against what the American dream is all about.
Truth.
Right. Oh,
justice and the American way.
Absolutely.
Oh, shit. So he's the first person at Superman to actually say the catchphrase, but interesting. As is pointed out, yeah, the people who remove Superman saying and the American way are the people, yes, against the American way. Interesting. Yeah, because I've seen more of a backlash to that and all of the big illusions, which I still think for as much as they're pushing that, they're also just going to drop that into the movie to be, see, we owned you. See what happens when you guys fall for all of that marketing that we put out there. Yeah, see what you get, because Superman's like, he's an immigrant, but yeah, okay, as opposed to the immigrants that this mega guy, he theoretically is against. Yeah, Superman comes in and assimilates, and this is the story that, you know, people kind of like about Superman, is that he is an all-American farm boy. He is from Smallville. He is from Kansas. He is everything Americana all wrapped into one. He might be a Kryptonian, but he's a Kent. That's what makes Superman relatable. But unfortunately for Clark, the people writing for him and directing him, well, you could describe them as something that sounds like a Kent, because what was this, Sunday night? I don't know. I've never watched an episode of Rick and Morty in my life because, I don't know, I like girls. You had a Warner Brothers cartoon promote a Warner Brothers movie by using a Warner Brothers studio head and a fired hack. Like, who does this appeal to? Okay, because I think there's like 16 people that still watch Rick and Morty at this point in time. I heard it fell off years ago, but okay, cool. And this is the type of Family Guy-esque humor that you think is going to put butts in seats by having stupid Zack Snyder. Both of them were voiced by that. I don't know if this is copywritten or copyright or copyrighted material. There we go, that one. So I'm not going to play this clip, but still, they're voiced by them. Okay, yeah, James Gunn and Zack Snyder both appeared in the latest episode of Rick and Morty. Just saw your new cut. This is Snyder talking to James Gunn. I just saw your new cut of Superman, a word of advice. He's the man of steel, not the man of conversation. Holy shit. Was that actually written by Zack Snyder? Because I would believe that. Do more shots of him punching. Yeah, exactly. Punching, screaming, snapping necks. Yeah, that's what you need to do. That will make the movie better. And that's what we want, right? Like, we don't want, like, good characters enduring work like Christopher Reeve. No, you need to have a disposability where people only go, geez, I really liked that Superman movie that Zack Snyder did. Oh, right, I actually like the Superman that was there, because holy crap, was Henry Cavill a disservice. Nobody ever refers to anything else from that other than, you know, the massive amount of destruction that is thrust upon Metropolis. Holy Christ, it's just atrocious. But yeah, going back to Variety, right? Because you've seen Daily Beast's leaked review at the tail end of last week, but I think over the weekend, or maybe on Friday, Variety also had their article leak, and well, they said that James Gunn's Superman is silly, which, yeah, again, we could tell from the leaks, which is also another sign that they're probably true, which, God, I don't want it, man. Jimmy Olsen saving Superman from a pocket dimension because he's sexting with Lex Luthor's girlfriend. Like, the fuck are we doing? Negative buzz surrounding James Gunn's Superman reboot keeps growing. This time from Variety, who took a swipe at the film in an unrelated review. So far, that's 2 strikes against Gunn's new Man of Steel. Okay, the new review for Amazon's Heads of State, a John Cena straight to streaming movie. Oh my God, an action comedy starring Cena and Idris Elba. Interesting, okay? So, Cena, who's Peacemaker, Elba, who took the lead of the Suicide Squad from Will Smith's Deadshot. I forget whatever. Interchangeable black guy came in and took the interchangeable black guy role for the Superman reboot, for the Suicide Squad reboot for James Gunn this time around. But yeah, you have this Suicide Squad reunion for Amazon, and people even forgot about that. That was only, 3 years ago at this point? 2020, is that 2021 or 2022? I think 2021. But anyways, Variety compares the movie's goofy approach to Superman and even says Heads of State is a better movie. Fuck. You could be forgiven for writing off Heads of State, but then you would miss a movie that is no sillier than Superman and a lot more entertaining. Oh, a comparison worth making since both adhere to a mythical sense of heroism. Oh, God. Yeah, Variety edited their article to remove the Superman reference, likely at the request of Warner Brothers, because, the embargo drops later today, I think. We'll see, man, because there's going to be previews. Fan screenings are happening or have already happened. I can't remember. Yes, James Gunn confirmed Superman is about politics and decline of American kindness. Right, American kindness, or James Gunn's interpretation of American kindness, says screw them or to jerks who get offended. Aw, man. In a new interview with Times of London, Gunn opened up about the themes at the heart of the DC Universe reboot and made it abundantly clear that his version of the Man of Steel won't shy away from commentary, because that's exactly what we want. And this is some of these new takes that are just so blindingly refreshing in 2025. I mean, Superman is a story of America. Gunn said, though it should also be noted that Gunn and DC have taken extreme care to omit, Superman's classic American way motto from the film's promotion. That's why I think it's a tease, man. Don't take the bait quite yet. An immigrant that came here from other places and populated the country, but for me, it is mostly a story. The basic human kindness is a value and is something we have lost. Really, yeah, because whose side is pushing all that divisive shit? Just wondering, man, like if we're gonna have proper introspection or not. But no, this is about James and how everybody was so mean to him because they canceled him, and now he's gonna take it out on the world and use Superman as his vehicle. Statement, yes, has stoked fears of many that Superman will serve as a cultural, political, progressive parable rather than the traditional action-driven escapist superhero film. While Gunn frames a conversation between Clark and Lois from the trailer in which they argue over Superman's actions overseas to be a one of compassion, it's unmistakably wrapped in a language of modern political narratives, particularly on the topic of moral standing. The decision to frame Clark's journey as a metaphor for immigration isn't new, but the Times interview put Superman squarely in the crosshairs of today's deeply divided political landscape. When asked about how audiences might react to the film's themes, Gunn didn't hold back. Yes, it plays differently, but it's about human kindness, and obviously there will be jerks out there who who are just not kind and will take it as offense just because it's about kindness, but screw them. By Gunn's own admission, the film will explore morality, conflict, and clashing values, particularly between Superman and Lois. Yes, it's about politics. Fuck. But another level, it's about morality. Now, do you never kill no matter what? Oh, fuck's sakes, man. Which is what Superman believes. Or do you have a balance, as Lois believes? It's really a part of their relationship, which we've also heard is just really kind of not really a thing in and of itself, but okay. And and the way different opinions on basic moral beliefs can tear two people apart. Well, I don't believe him at all whatsoever when it comes to the nuts and bolts of the script, because James Gunn is a perpetual liar. We also have him talking about, at the end of the day, okay, with all of this bad marketing, okay, can the brand of Superman overcome just this anchor that is attached to this film. And we've seen the projections, how it at least projects to be the most profitable of the big three, which we're going to be talking about the shiniest toy in the box right now, at least coming out of this past weekend in the next video. But Superman is still projected to be the biggest of the three, okay? But we'll see how it shakes out over the weekend. If it's a good film, if it's going to have word of mouth, if it's going to have legs, if it's going to have staying power, that's going to dictate a lot. But okay, talk about shifting goalposts right here. James Gunn says it's nonsense to think that Superman will flop if it doesn't make $700 million. Bro, you take a look at the production budget, north of $400 million. Yeah, you're right. Okay, it is a nonsense to think that it'll flop if it doesn't make $700 million, because it needs at least $900 million to break even. It doesn't need to be as big as people are saying. Oh, okay, cool. So he's already, like, to me, this kind of seems like he's very much laying the groundwork. No, it doesn't need to make. It doesn't need to make more than the Man of Steel. Okay, in 2013, that made what? Very funny, right? Because the box office receipts for Man of Steel, wasn't that $600 million? Oh, it doesn't need to make $700 million. Oh no, don't worry about it. So what are your internal projections? What are the ticket sales telling you at this point in time, James? That's very interesting. And if people are mean about my movie, that just means that they're jerks and they don't get it. Oh, and what's that? What's that again? If people don't like it, if they're criticizing the movie, that just means that they're MAGA extremists. Oh God, yeah, they're doing it again, huh? They're really just rolling out that same old tired bullshit because they think they'll be able to convince us that, no, actually our movie was sabotaged, and it wasn't just the Snyder fans. It's all of those right-wing extremists who just couldn't get past seeing an immigrant on screen. Like I've said, for months at this point, I really wanted this film to be good. I really, really wanted to see a competent, accomplished, confident Superman on screen. What am I going to see? A James Gunn biopic with a red fucking cape on it. Jesus Christ. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don. Consequently, I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.